All right, Duval, some super breaking news here for you. We're going to get to it real quick. I haven't even had time to digest this at all, but wanted to get you a quick update. Just uploaded our offense as an embarrassment video, but the Jaguars, according to Ian Rapaport, are sending standout defensive tackle Roy Robertson-Harris to the Seahawks. He says, per me, Tom Pelissero and Mike Garafolo. A 2026 rounder, a 2026 sixth rounder goes to Jacksonville. So Ian Rappaport continues, a veteran addition at a key spot as Seattle loads up. I do think Roy Robertson-Harris is a pretty good rotational player. I don't think I would call him necessarily a standout performer. What's interesting about this is Roy Robertson-Harris's contract, right? Like, did he probably make the Jaguars' defensive front a little bit better and more, add more depth to it than what they have now? Yes. But they've added a lot of young talent over the last couple of years that you need to get reps. The Jaguars are now 1-5. They're in a situation where I wouldn't be surprised to see more contracts offloaded prior to the trade deadline. And again, Roy Robertson-Harris's contract was not favorable for the Jaguars. They signed him to an extension, and then they added on void years after that to continue to clear cap space and whatnot. But look, the bottom line is the Jaguars couldn't move on from Roy Robertson-Harris from a financial standpoint in 2024, which is probably why they didn't. They didn't cut him because his dead money was $11.7 million. Now in 2025, $7.7 million in dead money. $1.2 million in cap savings, which again was not very advantageous if you're trying to move on from a guy and get more reps for younger players, right? Eating $7.7 million in dead money to only save $1.2 million in cap space was just not advantageous for them. Now, in 2025, next year, they could have done a post-June 1 cut to save even more, but make no mistake about it. This is good for the Jaguars from a cap standpoint. It makes a lot of sense for future cap. It's going to help them out. And I think that's why the move was made, along with the fact that the Jaguars are 1-5. They might be offloading other players again before the trade deadline, which is a few weeks away. Roy Robertson-Harris had some good moments in Jacksonville. Obviously, never really lived up to being like a full-time starter type of player, which they signed him to be several years ago, and then extended him to be that even further. It didn't really work out as a signing for the Jaguars overall. I do think he's a player for the Seahawks that can give them some quality depth and be good in certain spots, but didn't quite work out. And the Jaguars drafted several defensive linemen this year, drafted some defensive linemen last year. So I think you're going to see more Tyler Lacey, more Mason Smith, Jordan Jefferson. I would assume maybe Miles Cole. It's going to be interesting to see what happens here with this Jaguars roster moving forward, if there's other contracts like this that are offloaded. And maybe Roy Robertson-Harris is just the tip of the iceberg here, as this football team is dead in the water at 1-5. And obviously they face the Patriots this upcoming weekend, which they could win that game potentially in London. But after that, they have a gauntlet against the Packers, Eagles, Vikings, and Lions, in which I would assume they're going to be all but mathematically eliminated after that stretch from the playoffs. So we'll see how it continues to play out, but just wanted to give you all a quick update on Roy Robertson-Harris being traded to the Seattle Seahawks for a 2026 sixth-round pick. Again, that's not 2025. That's not next year's draft. That's 2026. So the Jaguars, they really just wanted to be able to get out of that contract, in my opinion, moving forward. And Roy Robertson-Harris was fairly attractive to the Seahawks. I'm surprised that they were able to trade the contract. Quite honestly, I am. But really appreciate y'all tuning in. If you enjoy the content, please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. You can also check out genjag.com/shop, pick up some new Duval gear, become a channel member here on YouTube. Y'all have a good one.